In a world where power and efficiency and compact design intersect, the Dell Precision 3260 Compact is king. Hello everyone, welcome back to Main Tech. Today I have another Precision 3260 Compact on the channel, but this time this is more of a reasonable workstation for you. We're going to take an exclusive, in-depth look at Dell's newest addition to their workstation lineup, the Dell Precision 3260 Compact. Before we start, once we hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away, at a minimum, a 2TB NVMe SSD. So, if you're not subscribed, please take a few seconds out of your day and hit that subscribe button. First, a few housekeeping items before we start. As always, this desktop was not provided to me for a review. I purchased this desktop for a customer at their request. At first glance, you can't help but to notice the incredibly compact and sleek design of the 3260. It's a perfect example of Dell's commitment to providing performance in a minimalist design. Under the hood, the Precision 3260 boasts an Intel i5 3500 CPU. This 13th gen processor provides impressive speed and multitasking capabilities, perfect for professionals seeking fast, responsive performance without having to shell out the extra cash for an i7 or i9. But a great workstation just isn't about processing power. It's also about performance-driven memory and storage, and the Precision 3260 does not disappoint. Equipped with 16 GB of dual-channel DDR5 RAM, this machine ensures smooth operations even while running memory-intensive applications. The 512GB Gen 4 PCI SSD provided by SK Hynix ensures rapid boot times and speedy file access. And for those of you who run multiple monitors or do some like photo editing or video editing, this machine comes with an NVIDIA T400 GPU with 4 GB of VRAM, so you don't have to sacrifice additional CPU cycles to drive those displays. Priced at the spec above, this machine comes out at just $1,500 before tax, which includes a 3-year on-site next business day warranty. Now, let's take a look at performance. The 3260 comes equipped with a 13th generation 13500 CPU. The CPU scores 34,112 points on the Passmark CPU test and 3964 points on the single-threaded test, which puts us dead on with what I would expect to see out of full-size desktop CPUs. On 3DMark's CPU profile test, this scored a total of 8,989 points. It also puts a CPU faster than the 12th Gen i7. Thermal performance on the CPU is expected out of a build this small. This PC did hit thermal throttle on the CPU after about 7 minutes of heavy load, peaking at 97 degrees Celsius. Looking at SSD-specific performance, this machine comes with an SN810 Gen 4 SSD made by SK Hynix. This SSD scores 6.9 GB a second read and 4.5 GB sequential write speeds. On random reads, we got 3.3 GB a second read and 2.8 GB a second write. Looking at Passmark, this drive scored 44,119 points on the SSD test, and on the 3DMark SSD test, it scored 2,978 points. As you can see on the Atto disk benchmark, you can see very similar results which fall in line with the previous tests. This puts this drive in line with the WD Black SN850, Corsair M600 Pro, or even faster than the Samsung 980 Pro. So needless to say, very adequate speeds coming out of this SSD. Thermals on the SSD are nothing to be concerned about, only reaching 43 degrees Celsius under peak loads. Overall performance, which takes into account the entire PC as a whole, this PC scored an overall score of 5,802 on the Passmark test, 6,243 points on the PCMark 10 standard test, 5,240 points on the extended test, and 6,041 points on the express test. Since this PC does have a dedicated GPU, though it's pretty small, I did want to run 3DMark's Time Spy, which actually scored 1,651 points overall, 1,428 points on the graphics score, and 14,863 points on the CPU score. Now, let's take a look at the I/O of this PC. So over here on the front we have a USB-C, a USB 3 port, we have an audio microphone port, and standard power button, hard drive illuminator. On the back, we have 3 dedicated DisplayPort, which is going to run off the CPU. We're going to have 4 additional USB on the back, a 1 gigabit Ethernet port, and this GPU comes with 3 mini DisplayPorts, which it does come with adapters for. I did do a review of the Intel i9 model of this build, which I'll drop above and include in the video description down below. I also done a full disassembly of this PC chassis, which I'll also link. So, what are my final thoughts on this PC? Honestly, I really like this build. It has more I/O than the micro form factor chassis, as we get the desktop CPU SKUs as opposed to the lower power SKUs, but yet we're still pretty competitive on price once we factor in everything, especially the warranty. Personally, I think this is a sweet spot for this build. The i9 model of this ran too hot, the cooling simply could not keep up. However, though this i5 still hit thermal throttle, it took several minutes under heavy sustained loads, which, to be honest, we shouldn't really see in normal day-to-day operations. So, let me know what you think about this PC. Take a look at the videos linked in the description below, and as always, please subscribe and like this video to stay up to date on the 500 subscriber giveaway. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.